Hello everyone, welcome back to another video, and today we are going to talk about on how you could go ahead and fill up the form 1040. This is a step-by-step guide, so you should be able to follow easily. So first things first, let's talk about what is form 1040. It is your individual income tax return. It's main form used for filling out your federal income taxes, whether you're using a software or filling out by hand. Understanding this form is key to managing your taxes effectively. So let's start with the first one right here. This is your personal info. Right here you have things like your social security number, your address, your filing status, and more. And for the second section right here, we have our income. This is where you add up all your income for the year: wages, salaries, bonuses, and any other income. Remember that the more accurate you are in this step, the smoother the rest of the process will be. And finally, for the last part right here, the Form 1040 will help you determine if your withholdings and credits have fully covered your tax bill. So without further ado, let's get straight into the first part right here. First one right here, you have your first name, the last name, you also have your home address, city, state, and your zip code. And most importantly, you have your social security number right here. Now after that, we will now be prompted to the second part, which is the filing status. You could just go ahead and fill out the appropriate status right here, but let's assume that this taxpayer is single. And for the third one right here, we have the digital assets. You could just go ahead and choose between yes or no depending if you have digital assets during 2023. So I'm just gonna go ahead and click on no as an example, and we have the standard deduction. Right here for the first one, we have the someone can claim. You could just go ahead and check whether you are dependent or your spouse as a dependent or not. You can go ahead and leave this at empty if you want to. But if you're 65 and you're also blind, you could go ahead and get the standard deduction. So you could just go ahead and choose between any of the boxes right here. But let's just go ahead and assume that this taxpayer does not have any condition. And for the next one right here, we have our dependents. This is really simple. If you have a children or if you have any dependents, you could just go ahead and put their name right here, first name, last name, their social security number, their relationship to you, and you could just choose between these two boxes. If the child is under 17 years old, you can just go ahead and choose the first one, which is the child tax credit. But if you have a college student or college son that's above 17 years old, you could just go ahead and choose for the credit for other dependent right here. But let's assume that this taxpayer does not have any children, so let's keep the next one right here, which is the dependents, and let's proceed to the most crucial part of this form, which is our income. So for the first one right here, we have the total amount from the form W2 boxed one. You could just go ahead and see the instruction. So the form W2 is another form, but we are not going to delve into that form that much, but basically it's this one right here. You could just go ahead and basically fill out the same thing inside the number one right here, which is the wages, tips, and other compensation. Let's just say that I have 50,000 in that box right there. So let's just put 50,000 in 1A. For the second one, we have the household employee wages not reported in Form 2, which is once again this one. You could just go ahead and fill out the rest of the form right here, but to make the tutorial easier, we're just gonna proceed to the next one, which is 2A. For the 2A, we have the tax exempt interest, and we have the taxable interest right here, which will fill out in this box in 2B. So in 2B, I'm just gonna go ahead and put 100 right here. I know it's a bit much of a number, but it's easier to work with this number right here. After that, we have the qualified dividends, the IRA distribution, pensions, and annuities, and more. Basically, line 3B to 6B is mostly for the people who is taking some pensions and more. But if you want to put the qualified dividends in here, you could just go ahead and attach them to section B. After that, we now have the capital gain or loss. This will go ahead and mostly apply if you are selling or buying a stock. You could just go ahead and put your capital gain right here or your losses. Additionally, we have the number 8, which is the additional income from the Schedule 1 line 10. I'm just gonna go ahead and open up another page right here. This is the part 1 of the Form 1040. Additional income, we have a lot of incomes right here. We have the taxable refunds, credits, and more. We have unemployment compensation, networking operation loss, gambling, and basically you could just go ahead and see this form by yourself. Basically for the line 9, which is this one, add lines between 1Z to 8. Basically we will go ahead and add all of the numbers that we've put in here. In our case, we have put 50k and also 100. So we're just gonna go ahead and put this number right here since we add up this two number. But if you have more numbers inside your column right here, you could just go ahead and add all of them to line number 9. And after that, we will now go ahead and get to the line 10, adjustments to income from schedule 1, line 26. So let's go ahead and open up the schedule 1 right here, and if you scroll down, you will then be able to see the part 2. This is all of the adjustments to income. You have things like the alimony right here, the student loans, reserved for future use, and more. You could just go ahead and put them inside line 10 if you have some adjustments to your income. And we will now proceed to the line 11, subtract line 10 from 9. Since we have made no changes, we are going to put the exact same number right here. For the next one, we will have the standard deduction. In our case, the standard deduction of this current form right here is 12,400 as of 2024. You can just go ahead and adjust your standard deduction if you have properties, maybe you're donating to a lot of charities and more. But after that, we will now proceed to the line 13, which is the qualified business income deduction from the form 8995 or form 8995A. Well, let's just go ahead and say that we don't have any deduction in line 13. The next thing to do now is to go ahead and add the line 12 and 13. Since we have not made any changes, I'm gonna go ahead and insert the exact same number right here. And after that, we will now go ahead and subtract line 14 from line 11. So let's just go ahead and pull up our calculator right here. And we are going to subtract 12,400 to 50,100. And we will go ahead and get this number. So just go ahead and insert this number right here. And then now we will be ready to proceed to the second page. So we have the tax right here. See instruction. I'm just gonna go ahead and leave this instruction at the description box below. We have the 2023 instruction for the form 1040, and currently I'm at page 69. So let's just assume that our taxpayer is single. So we have this one right here. And since we have the number of the 37,000 on the line 15, 37,700, we could just go ahead and refer to the single section right here. Browse down until you came across 37,000, which is this one. And we will go ahead and get this number. It's the 4,217. So you want to copy this number and you want to insert it in line 16. Do some addition right here, but since we didn't make any changes, let's just go ahead and put the exact same number. And for the next lines right here, we have the line 19, line 20, and 21. This is basically the credits, and I'm not gonna go ahead and delve into the credits more because I'm demonstrating the main mechanics of the form 1040, and this is a simple tutorial. So let's proceed to the next line right here, which is line 22. So let's just go ahead and put the exact same number. So to finish off the tax and credits, let's just go ahead and add all of the lines right here for the line 22 and 23. And we will now proceed to the payments. So the first thing that you want to go ahead and do is to open up the form W2, which is this one right here. And let's just say that for the federal income tax withheld, we have the number of 55,096 or 98. So let's just go ahead and insert that number right here, 5,098. And then we have the form 1099 right here and other forms. So let's just go ahead and proceed to D, which is the line 25D, which is this number right here, 5,098. And we will now proceed to the next one, which is the add lines from 22, 25D, 26, and 32. You could just go ahead and fill out the rest of the forms right here if you have the child tax credit, the American Opportunity Credit right here. But to proceed, we want to go ahead and add everything up from the line 26D from 26 and 32. So we're just gonna go ahead and put this number right here. For the second one, we have the refund. If line 33 is more than the line 24, subtract line 24 from line 33. So since our line 33 is more than our line 24, this means that we have overpaid. So you could just go ahead and open up your calculator once more and insert the number from line 33, which is the 5,098 minus 4,217. So we have overpaid for 881. So let's just go ahead and put that number right here. And so we have the routing number right here, and we also have the accounting number. For the next one, if you have any owed taxes, you could just go ahead and put them right here. And lastly, you could just go ahead and put your signature right here. And there you go. You will then be able to fill out the form 1040. If this video has been helpful for you, please consider by liking and subscribing. I'll make sure to see you again next time. And as always, thank you.